Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So for today's video, I wanted to take you through this year's Pat McGrath Holiday collection, the Celestial Odyssey collection for Holiday 2021. This is launching tomorrow, the 23rd. Generally, early access begins at 9 AM EST, which for my UK friends is 2 PM our time. I will have a link down below in the description box if you want to sign up for that early access. So you'll get a code and a link to access this collection probably at 9 AM EST or 2 PM UK time. The code generally also will usually get you a 10% off, which, let's be honest, when we're talking Pat McGrath, every little counts, right? Every little helps. So today I'm going to be sharing the collection with you, showing you the photographs that we have of all these delicious products from Pat McGrath. I'll also let you know any pricing information, any information that we've got about these products, any information we've got about swatches, and whether anything is existing or re-promotes, and what is brand new, as well as letting you know what I plan to pick up from this collection and my recommendations for you. So without further ado, let's take a look. So really, I think it would be amiss if we did not start off with this luscious Celestial Odyssey Mothership Mega. So this is the second palette of this type that Pat came out with. Last year she came out with Celestial Divinity and it was a big hit, mainly I guess because of the much lower price point for Pat McGrath shadows and a much larger number of Pat McGrath shadows. So this is going to be retailing for $78. At the moment the UK price is on the website and is displayed as £60, but sometimes that does tend to go up on launch day because VAT isn't included at this point, but I would expect this to be £60, so we'll just have to wait and see. So in this palette we have 18 shades and it is going to be limited edition. There are some existing shades in here, some re-promoted shades, so I'll let you know which ones those are. We have 4 velvet mattes, all brand new shades. We then have 4 sateen shimmers. One of these, Corrupt Copper, was previously available as a single, and one of these, Bronze Eclipse, was previously available in Midnight Sun. That shade is actually in the Midnight Sun mothership. We then have 3 24-carat duochrome sparkles, all brand new shades, and then we have 6 foiled metallics. Of these 6, Rose Venus was previously available as a single, and Lotus Luxe was previously available in the Golden Opulence palette. All of the others are brand new shades. And then we have Noir Moon, which is an iridescent sparkle and another brand new shade. I think this looks absolutely stunning. I love the packaging. I think it's gorgeous. I love the red. Very, very festive. Very ideal for Christmas, for holiday, for a gift. A luscious, gorgeous gift for someone who loves Pat McGrath. And I love the big mirror, but it is that cardboard thinner packaging, so it will feel lighter. It doesn't feel as luxe as her motherships, but you're getting a lot of shadows, a lot of shades, and a lot of value for money for Pat McGrath shadows. So that's something to bear in mind as to whether this is going to be a good choice for you. I like that there are 4 mattes in here, so that gives you a bit more variety, a bit more to play with as far as transition shades and combinations and things like that. This looks absolutely stunning and is absolutely going on my list. So next up we have 2 Celestial Odyssey Luxe Quads. These are also going to be limited edition, and Temptalia has these quoted as being $54 on her blog, but I haven't seen a confirmed post as far as the price of these from Pat McGrath, but expect them to be around the $50 to $55 and around the sort of £45 to £50 mark. Now I have seen a lot of comments online and on social media pointing out that both of these quads look a little familiar. They do look very close to previous quads that Pat McGrath has released, but I'll show you some side-by-sides with the couple that kind of occurred to me and I questioned whether these were re-releases or just re-promotes with a different name. I don't think they are. I think they are new shades. When you look at them side by side, you can see the differences, but they are certainly very familiar and certainly pretty close to a couple of existing or previous releases from Pat McGrath. So let's take a look. So first up we have Bronze Borealis, and this for me instantly reminded me of the ritualistic rose quad. So I think side by side you can see they've definitely got a very similar vibe. I think once we see these swatched together side by side, then we absolutely will see that they are actually slightly different. They are a little different. But yeah, I think if you already have Ritualistic Rose, then you can probably skip this one, because on the eye, I'm not sure you're going to notice a huge difference. But yeah, I think they do kind of remind me of each other, but they aren't dupes. There are some similarities and some differences there. So in the Bronze Borealis palette, we have a velvet matte, a sateen shimmer, and 2 foiled metallics. And next we have Deep Space Divinity. And now this instantly reminded me of Interstellar Icons. And I think if you put them side by side, and you can just see that kind of the shades moved around slightly, but they definitely have a very similar vibe to one another. I think maybe the matte in this new palette is a lot more red, whereas in the original it was maybe a little more purple or aubergine colour, and the blue maybe looks a little brighter. But yeah, definitely again a palette that if you already own Interstellar Icons, you may want to skip this one, because they are quite similar, and again on the eye they are probably going to end up looking a pretty similar vibe, pretty similar look. So an easy pass for you if you already own Interstellar Icons and you don't want to spend money on products that are kind of similar to what you already have in your collection. In Deep Space Divinity, we have 1 velvet matte, a foiled metallic, a sateen shimmer, and a 24 karat duochrome sparkle. I personally plan to pick both of these quads up. I think I don't own Ritualistic Rose, so that's one that it's quite similar to an existing palette, but I don't own that palette, so that is kind of new for me. And I do prefer the look of these shades to Ritualistic Rose. They're just kind of more my cup of tea. And I'm sure there'll be a bundle with Celestial Odyssey as well as the quads. We can't see the bundles as yet when I'm filming this on her website, but generally there are lots of bundles that are opportunities to save money if you're buying multiple products from a collection. So I'm definitely going to be picking both of these up, just for, at least for comparison's sake. And Interstellar Icons is a palette that I really enjoy, but I do kind of wish it had a bit more of a cohesive colour story in there for finishing a look by itself, and this one maybe looks like it might be slightly easier to make a more cohesive look just using that palette, so I'm excited to see the difference. So let's have a look at these blush and highlight trios. These are one of the most exciting products, I'm sure, for lots of people in this collection. So Temptalia on her blog post about this collection has these down as $52, so hopefully that's going to stay the price, and that's around what they are. I think that's a pretty decent value for 2 blushes and a highlight from Pat McGrath, and these are supposed to be limited edition also. I think this entire collection is all limited edition by the looks of it. So we have 2 of these blush and highlight palettes. Now the first thing to note is that all of the blushes in these trios are her existing blush shades. There are no new shades in here. They're all her existing shades. Well, the highlight, one highlight is new. We'll get to that in a moment. But all of these blushes are her existing shades. So if you've already purchased all of her blushes that you were interested in, all of the shades that you have that you wanted to pick up, then please note that you already own these blushes. So let's have a look at what exactly are in each of these. So first up, let's look at Galactic Sun. So this trio consists of Divine Rose Blush, Desert Orchid Blush, one of my all-time favourites, and the Golden Nectar highlight. So that highlight was the highlight that also was released as part of that blush collection. So again, an existing shade that you may or may not already own. So all 3 of those shades are existing shades. And then we have Amber Allure. Again, 2 of her existing blush shades in here. We have Love Struck, Paradise Venus, another one of my favourites, and Venus Nectar. Now this appears to be a new highlight shade in this trio, so that's one we haven't seen before. That Venus Nectar shade we haven't seen before. So if you already own a lot of her blushes or all of her blushes, or you've just picked up the shades that really appeal to you and maybe you own that highlight as well, the Golden Nectar highlight, these are definitely going to be an easy pass for you. They're definitely an easy pass for me. I certainly appreciate them. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're such a great product for her to have come out with for her holiday collection, especially for people who haven't picked up her blushes yet, couldn't get hold of them, or were just waiting for something like this, because this is just, you know, something that we've wanted for years from Pat McGrath, you know, a cheek palette. Gorgeous, glorious. For me, I own all of these blushes, or I own the shades that I've wanted to own. So these other shades that I don't own, so I don't own Divine Rose and I don't own Love Struck shades, but they're shades that I passed on because they're not just my kind of blush, they're just not my preference for blush shades. I do own the other two. I own Paradise Venus and I own Desert Orchid, and I adore them both, and I also own that highlight. So for me, these are an easy pass. I definitely don't need to pick these up for blush shades I skipped on, and a highlight that looks pretty similar to the one I already own, and we've got another option when it comes to highlight anyway. So next, let's talk about one of the most exciting products in this whole collection for me personally, and this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Skin highlighter in the shade Lunar Nude. This looks absolutely stunning, and again, according to Temptalia, she has this listed as $60, and again, a limited edition highlighter. If you don't know my channel or you haven't been here before, I am obsessed with Pat McGrath highlighters. Two of her highlighters, the shade that we talked about earlier and her Divine Rose highlight, that one is my absolute holy grail highlighter. I think Pat McGrath does highlighters absolutely perfectly for my preference. They're always very, very smooth, flattering, melt into the skin, not at all powdery. They are just exactly what I love from a highlighter. And this one, I haven't seen swatches yet, but the description just sounds divine. It is described as an opalescent gel powder highlighter, and this just sounds like it's going to be glorious. I am absolutely going to be picking that one up. I love that she's done this extra bit of gold around the mirror inside the packaging. I think that just gives it an extra bit of a luxe feel. If you compare it to the golden Nectar packaging, I just really, really like that extra bit of gold. It gives it that extra holiday feel and just looks a bit more luxe to me. I'm very excited for this one. We'll absolutely be picking that up. I just love the embossing on there as well. I think that's stunning, but ultimately I adore the highlights that Pat McGrath has previously come out with, and I'm sure that this one is going to be a new favourite as well. And finally, we have two Luxe Lip Balms that Temptalia has priced at $25, again limited edition shades. We have Nude Temptation, which is a muted brown, and Naked Rose, which is a muted pink. These are an easy pass for me. These are, at the end of the day, lip balms. It's not something that I'm super excited about, probably the least exciting product out of this entire collection for me, but again, you know, whatever floats your boat, we're all very different. Maybe these are super exciting for you, but for me they are an easy pass. So there you have it. That is everything in this Pat McGrath collection. I've included as much information as I can to try and help you get ahead of the game and make your choices and your decisions as to what you want to pick up. I think it's so important to kind of plan what you want and set your budget, and make sure you go onto the website on launch day and you don't panic buy and start buying everything that really you didn't need or that you didn't want originally because you just got into a bit of a tailspin, because we've all been there. That's happened to all of us. It's definitely happened to me. So I would definitely recommend deciding, looking at all the photos, once more swatches and everything come out, as they tend to do nearer to the launch, then just really make your decisions before you go on and start putting things in your basket, because it's very, very stressful when it's Pat McGrath launches. Things will sell out. These are all limited edition products. So if you have in your mind, these are the things I want, you can just calmly, or as calmly as possible, proceed to checkout and don't start panic buying. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.